Good night, Mr. Zimmer and classmates. Today I'm going to talk about decision making. To be more specific, I'm going to talk about the process to make a decision, because this is a process that involves so many steps. I'm going to talk about some of them. The first step I have is to identify the problem. Decisions help to solve problems. As a first step to a decision making, therefore, managers identify the problem. Problem is any deviation from a set of expectations, and it is the gap between the present and the desired state. I have some examples. For example, economic values. Managers search for problems in areas where profit can be maximized. Other example is the theoretical values. More than profits, managers are guided by forces to achieve long-term goals of the organization within the framework of the environmental forces. Other example, and is one of the first of the principal examples, the political values. Managers backed by political values aim to achieve their personal goals. The other step I have is to diagnose our problem. Diagnosis involves identify the problem through its symptoms which indicate deviation from the standard objectives or actions that indicate a problem that needs to be solved through a decision making. Diagnosis involves identifying gap between the problem and the future, identifying reasons why this gap has risen, and then going to the depth of the problem to the decision making. For example, managers collect all facts and information to find the cause of the problem. Diagnosis helps to define the problem, its causes, dimensions, degrees of severity, magnitude, and origin, so that remedial action can be taken. Okay, the other step I have is that establish of objectives. Objective is the end result that managers achieve through the decision-making process. Establishing objectives means deciding to solve the problem. The resolution forms the objective of the decision-making, and if the reason for low, for example, if the reason for low sales is a pure salesmanship, managers form the objective to improve the skills of the salesman to promote sales. For example, in the case of crisis, it is a situation which requires immediate attention of managers and decisions to solve the problems. For example, if workers go on strike, management cannot sit back to think and take action. The problem needs to be immediately resolved. Other example is non-crisis. This problem do not require immediate attention, as they can be resolved over a period of time. Most of the decisions are related to situations, problems which are non-crisis in nature. An employee who is, for example, an employee who is regularly late for work represents a non-crisis problem. A non-crisis problem is an issue that requires resolution, but does not simultaneously have the importance and immediacy characteristic of a crisis. Okay, so as a conclusion, we can say that decision making is a very important thing in our daily life, because if we are the owners of an enterprise, if we are managers of some company, that is very important to make decisions.